Hi everybody, today we're going to talk to David, our service manager, and he's going to share with us how we take care of the quality assurance in our workshop for your service. The first one is fitting the right oil to your car, and I use the word fit because oil is made specifically for your motor car.
Here at Suzuki Kyalami, Clive, we do the following. We use the following oil type for the cars. It's a Suzuki 5W30. Each vehicle comes with a service tear sheet. The tear sheet tells you the quantity of oil that the vehicle is using.
Cars take different amounts of oil, and what happens now is most people would say one size fits all, and they give the mechanic 4 liters or 5 liters of oil and say fit that to the car or pour it into the motor car, and the customer ends up paying for more oil.
Our service tear sheet tells us exactly how much oil a car must take. We have bulk oil supplied by Suzuki, and we have a pump that we measure the exact amount that goes into each and every vehicle, and that gets pumped in, and the parts department books out that quantity to the same amount, and that gets invoiced to the customer. So that our customers don't overpay for unnecessary oil. The car is fitted with the exact right amount of oil.
We do double checks, so we make sure that we remove the dipstick and it's at the right level.
100%.
People are saying my car's overfilled or it's underfilled with oil, and very often when they take it to an aftermarket place, we never know that the right oil is fit. A Suzuki 5W30 oil is designed specifically for our car. It's the right grade oil. It allows the engine to warm up correctly. It uses less fuel when the car's cold. It lubricates far better when the car's hot. And it's important that you put the right oil into the motor.
Suzuki oil, it's also a full synthetic oil. The oil, that's the preferred oil for Suzuki. Yep. They reckon, and when a lot of our customers are making a mistake when they top up at a garage, the garages only have a multi-grade oil, which they then mix with the full synthetic, and that is not good.
From that, we've learned that it's very important to fit the right kind of oil. We do use a full synthetic oil. Doesn't mean you can't top up your oil if you need oil. Very often we find you don't need oil. So we encourage you that if somebody says to you at a garage your car needs oil, and on your dipstick it's showing that it might be at the bottom mark or in the middle, it doesn't need oil, bring it to us. If you're close by, pop in. David and his team will check that oil, and if it needs to be topped up, we'll top it up for nothing. And very often we find it doesn't need to be topped up. So very, very important. Don't get fooled into overfilling your car with oil. Overfilling causes more harm than a little bit under the full mark. So now we've discussed the oil. The next point is customer takes the car away, get a phone call, I'm driving down the highway and I've got a big stream of black smoke behind me and the sump plug has fallen out of the motor car. Now I can tell you it happens. So we are very aware of that weakness in the system of servicing cars. You need to assure the quality, and the best way to do that is what we call the buddy-buddy system. So first of all, when a technician does your service, he will put the sump plug back in, he torque it to the correct torque level, and then he will get his buddy to check that he's tightened it properly. When his buddy's checked that it's tightened properly, he will sign the job card, and then as an additional precaution, we will put a stripe of silicone down the side of the sump plug, and that will not only tell us that the sump plug's been fitted properly, but it will also retain that sump plug if, God forbid, it hasn't been tightened properly. It will show a leak on your garage floor, but it will never come out on the highway. That silicone holds it in place. So your warning is going to be a bit of leaking under your car. But that's a rare occasion because we double check these things. The next point that we can share, how we take care of oil filters. There's another area where you can get a leak after a service, and that causes a lot of trouble and strife. So again, we introduce precautions to make sure that that's done properly.
Suzuki service manual in the past, they want you to talk to the oil filter to a 40 Newton meters, but we found it a little bit more peace of mind for our customers. We went to the second phase of Suzuki recommendation of tightening oil filter. So what my team and I are now doing, and it's a visual one for the customer to check at any time, is we make a small little mark facing 12 o'clock. Then you tighten the filter 3/4, it's basically facing then at 3 o'clock. And that's a pure indication that anyone looks at the car and the filter mark showing at 3 o'clock, you know that filter has been tightened. Once again, as you say, with the buddy system that we have in place, the buddy guy comes, double checks, make sure, and once again signs off on a job card where you check the filter.
It's the actual standard way, it's the general way of tightening oil filters. Obviously we're going to make sure that we put a bit of lubrication on that seal, make sure that the old seal has been removed. Often we find that sticks to the aluminium block, and then the guy puts 2 seals on, and that causes a lot of strife, so we make sure that's gone. And we also put a date and the name of the technician on the oil filter. So at any time, if you drive in here and I look under your car and I look at the oil filter, I'll know, one, it's been tightened correctly because the mark is sitting at either 3 o'clock if the original mark was at 12, or the other way around. It depends on the car and how you can get at the oil filter. Then I'll also be able to know who worked on that car because it'll have the name of the technician, and I'll also know the date that service was done on that car. So we got a lot of trouble to make sure that the quality at Suzuki Kyalami and your safety and the care we give you is built into our methods of how we work on your car. So we've covered the type of oil we fit, we've covered the sump plug, and we've covered the oil filter. And these are the standard oil stuff that happens. There are all other stuffs, but these are parts of the service that cause most aggravation. And the next one is wheels falling off.
Basically, when the technician is done with the brake checks and all of that and is reassembling the wheel, he will fit the wheel and make sure that it's center. Then by hand tighten the wheel nuts, all of them, make sure they're on properly. Then tighten them to the position where basically the nut meets the mag, and then you will start tightening it in a sequence. Once the wheel is nice and tight, you get with your torque wrench, set it to the desired Newton meter torque that you're going to use, and make sure you torque it once again in a sequence.
Okay, so basically when we do this in our workshop, we find that one, we don't strip studs, wheels are properly tightened. They're tightened so that they sit flat on the hub, and then on top of it, your colleagues are hearing the torquing of the nuts. So we actually all become aware that the job's been done properly.
And after the technician is done with the torquing, once again our buddy system gets in working, where the colleague will come, double check, make sure that the wheels are torqued, all of them, all around, and sign off the job card, just to make sure.
You shouldn't have a wheel falling off, you shouldn't have your car leaking oil, and we can be rest assured that we've given a car back to you that won't give you problems. We've taken it to the next level of quality assurance on the quality of service and the checkups that we deliver on the way we service your car. So to all the Suzuki Kyalami customers, thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you at the next service.